stop at the top one?
There's one left. Well, DB's usually here to give me the sample, but glad to be going home with a win. I thought Minnesota played great. They had 2 consecutive games, I think, shooting over 50%. It's a really talented offensive team, Minnesota is. And I thought we got off to a great start. You know, if you use the word trap game, this was probably one. So I was concerned about our energy, and I thought we came out really good. I thought we came out with a real focus. We had a little 2-3 minute lull that I didn't like. I think we took 5 threes in a row, or 5 tough ones in a row, but we're going home with a win and on to the next. And that's, you know, I thought I was really excited for RJ. I told him before the game, rebound. And he did that. And then it's pretty cool when you coach basketball at a place and 15,000 have seen a young man struggle. And when that 3 went in and the eruption that happened, it's pretty cool, man. That's people dialed into our program and the struggles of a young guy. But I'm going to tell you, and it's all about a hug. It's all about the hug. And you know, we can believe in him as coaches and tell him we believe in him, and that doesn't end the struggle. But that play Matt Meyer made at the end of the game at Indiana, I stood up and screamed overtime. And when he missed it, Matt Meyer gave that kid a hug, a teammate, and that's belief. That's when you know your teammates believe you. And so I'm really happy for that. I made sure I mentioned that to our team after tonight after the game. And then it's nice to see Jay Nepps get going again from 3. We know he's a good shooter. He makes them all the time, and I think his most threes in Syracuse. So, you know, fought some foul trouble early. Matt was Matt, and you know, he's turning into one of the better players in the country. So, yeah, we gotta have that from him every night.
Coach, could you share a little bit more about what you told RJ during what turned out to be a pretty lengthy shooting slump? What was kind of your approach with him, and what did you talk to him about?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to handle because it's talk usually means nothing. Talk's pretty cheap, and you can tell him you believe, and you can tell him to keep shooting, and you got to find it, and you got to find your way, and you know, all we can do as a coaching staff is be really supportive. I did everything. I ripped his butt. I loved him. I hugged him. He got in the gym. We shot. You know, it's and yet you've got to get through it. And anybody who's been a shooter knows sometimes it's hard. And you know, but you always persevere when you're a good human being, and he is, and you work, and he's done that. And you know. I've never lost belief in him at all. That's why he's played. I mean, I played him 31 minutes a game and went 0 for 9. And I've never lost belief in him, and I don't believe in that. And but for his teammates to do that is pretty special.
Right.
Brad, can you talk to us about how Jaden's ability for teams to not be able to go under the screens add the dynamic to the offense?
Yeah, and that's what Minnesota does. And Minnesota's deal is, you know, they try to stay out of rotation at all cost. And so they go under ball screens, and you got to make them. And you know, in the first game, we got downhill a lot against them. We got in the paint off our 2-man game and spread, and really hurt them. And you know, they went under him tonight, and Jade's pretty good at doing that. That's what he does. And you know, he's got a little hesitation move, and then he gets downhill and gets a layup. And you know, Jade's a really good player, and it's nice to see him find that again.
Brad, of course, you want Terrence out there. Was there anything you gained in the last 2 games with him out and forcing others into different roles?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always gain something from one of your best players being out. You gain. I mean, Ola Joseph is a way better player than he was the first time we played him. Henley's a way better player than he was the first time we played him because they gained experience and they've done some things. And you know, I hope we're not without him for an elongated period. But we'll see what that next day. I mean, it's a day to day, and but I think, you know, getting guys minutes and Luke and you know, hard game for Luke because they don't help much. And you know, yeah, we're going to see one on Thursday that helps a lot, so he's going to need to make shots. And you know, we got time minutes, and it's good to see RJ now break out of it. So I think those are some of the positives, and you know, that's part of having a good team is you suck it up when one of your dudes is down.
Andy?
For the last couple games, Madison, we get downhill and be aggressive offensively. He's aggressive and gets to the cup and gets in those mid post ups. How much does that add to you guys
A
offensively?
lot. Yeah, and Matt's really comfortable because he knows he's got an unbelievable isolation game, and he knows that he can get a shot on any, you know, like, you know, it's crazy. He wanted an isolation with Trace, you know, on Saturday. That's all he wanted. Just put Trace in a ball screen and let him switch, and you know, that's him, and he knows he can get that shot off. And when you add that diversity, running him into some post ups, he's big, he's strong, you know, deceptively strong, and then he's really crafty, and he's got great touch in there. So yeah, it's something we've been working on a lot, and doing the same thing with Ty Rogers as well.
Matt?
Because he's had to contribute, can you describe how much better RJ is defensively on the glass than he was maybe a year ago?
Yeah, it's always been, we knew that was going to be a strength of his because it's what he did last year in short spurts. And, you know, we see his athleticism, you know, when he explodes and jumps and how quick he is off the ground, and then you add that length with it. He uses that defensively. Now he's added intelligence, and he made one bad play tonight, just trying to be cute and gamble. But you know, he's been a rock solid defender, and you know, that tenacity on the glass is something we need.
Coach, there's a little bit of a quandary, feeding Dane in the post when you know they're going to foul him and send him to the line. They drew 10 fouls tonight. So.
Oh, I don't worry about that a second. I guess I'd worry about that the last 2 minutes of a close game, maybe. He's, you know, he missed a few, but I think he's been making him a pretty decent clip here in the last 3 or 4 games. So I don't worry about that. Dane's a gamer. You know, take that hard fall and step up there and make 2. Dane will make him on games on the line.
It's beyond the point, or your words, or Matt's hug. For RJ to have that moment where 15,000 kind of realize together that he's fighting, like, what can that mean for him moving forward to just feel that full-scale embrace?
Belief. People believe. People want RJ. Nobody's against him. You know, sometimes you think the whole world's against you, and you know, that's where kids get destroyed by social media, destroyed by that nonsense, that venom that's out there, and you know, you start reading that stuff, and all of a sudden, you know, that feel good goes away pretty quick. And now just sitting there tonight and hear, you know, 15,000 plus cheering you on, knowing they got your back, man, that's all you need. Is we all need that. We all want to be, you know, have those moments where we've got people behind us, people helping us, and that's pretty cool. That means a lot. It means a lot to me.
Brad, we know how important guard play is in March, so to have Jaden have this kind of game, snap out of that slump, like, how do you feel about him going into the stretch run? Great.
You know, I thought he got timid in the first half. I don't ever want to see Jaden Epps like that. That's what I talked about at halftime. I said, just play, be you. And you know, he sometimes tries to run offense, and he sometimes play. You know, I call it the parking brake. He plays with the parking brake on. He's as fast as anybody in the world. Just go. and use your instincts, and you know, it's a fine line. I get it. You know, he's a freshman. He's still doing that, but we're in a good place because, you know, Terrence, Ty, Coleman, Matt, all can do it. They can all play in ball screens. They can all play. They can all pass it. They can all do different things. So we can play him off the ball some as well. And so I'm feeling, and I'm so happy for him to make shots tonight. That's huge.
Two about Matt. What is the art of his pump fake that is so effective, and how is it getting fouled on 3-pointers a skill, and how is he?
Yes, 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 and yes, yes, yes. If you ever notice Matt, he has. There's very few good shooters who don't have to have their feet aligned, and I've only had one other one. There was a kid, Thomas DeJago. I only had him as a freshman and played at Oklahoma State. He could have his feet pointed that way and shoot it that way because he could get square. Then Matt has no dip. Matt has no, it's catch, boom, and it's off. He can shoot it flat-footed. He can shoot it elevated. He can, but his footwork defies logic a little bit, you know, in terms of it's just so unorthodox, and yet, you know, and then that step back is at 6'9". Yeah, that's why they all like him at the next level. He's 6'9", go get a shot on anybody, and have a pretty good chance of making it. And but it's unique.
Is it a skill? That was the question, right?
And no, it's a skill. There's no doubt. He is freakishly skilled. I mean, to think that he can handle the ball, to think that he can pass it, and then to, you know, make a catch and shoot. I mean, he's going to make that almost every time. But to be able to do that with a large defender on you, a small defender, it doesn't.
Anything else?
I think it's like 8 or 9 straight games he's been foul shooting the three. Like, have you been a
Well,
part of a
he's
program like that?
no. I mean, he gets people off balance, and people get up and try to contest him, and you know, emphasis on the rule that you got to let him land.
I don't know if this run's gonna rival the 19 straight days, but just did that first experience, has that kind of informed how you're treating this stretch right now?
Yeah, it's been one of my main thoughts all day, is what to do tomorrow. And, you know, that's the downside of this game, is, you know, we had strep throat cases and a concussion, and we could have been resting.
Just a quick one, Coach. Can you comment on how you played Jamison Battle? Was it just, were you content to play him one-on-one? If he gets his, he gets his? Or?
Yeah, why not? He made a couple threes. He made a three at the end, 2 threes, one on RJ and one on Luke at the very end. Otherwise, he had 2 threes, and if he's making hard twos off the pull-up, great.
I really couldn't help that Jeff seemed to be the guy on your bench that is the hype man for RJ throughout this whole thing, trying to remind him how good of a basketball player he was. Just how important was that throughout this whole stretch of just telling him he's really, really good?
Huge. I mean, and again, it just goes back to belief, and Jeff has a great way of communicating, pushing, telling them when they're wrong, and it's different when it comes from me than sometimes an assistant coach. And Jeff's got a really, really good feel for me. We've been together for a long time, and he's got a really good feel for, you know, as a former player, what you need to hear. You know, when you're a lost soul for a little bit, you've got to, you know, and he had a, you know, he's psychology 101. He's got his master's in it, or, you know, not literally, but Jeff wasn't near that good a student. you can print that too. His parents will love that.
We just haven't asked since he's been back. Is Luke on any minute restriction, or is he full go?
He's full go.
Okay.
Luke is full go. And thank you.
All right, thank you.